Hello friends and not yet friends, welcome back to Mary's Test Kitchen, where we're making crispy, bready pizza that's keto friendly thanks to all your requests from last week's keto roll recipe. No cauliflower, no eggs. Instead, puffy, traditionally risen pizza crust customized to how you like it, which reminds me a little of today's sponsor Helix Sleep, but more on them later. Because now we've got to get started by mixing warm water and maybe unexpectedly, sugar, because our next classic dough rising ingredient needs some carbs to do its job. If you missed the last video, you might be wondering just how a recipe with sugar involved is possibly keto friendly. Well, I'll get into that, but first, temperature check. Add the yeast only when it's warm and not too hot, between 100 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Then wait up to 10 minutes to check that the yeast is actually alive. You're watching the yeast eating the sugar, producing these bubbles, and so the net carb count is going down before your very eyes. But by how much? I can't tell you for sure, which is why my net carb calculation always overestimates rather than trying to guess. More on that later. Let's first continue with ground golden flax seeds, which help keep moisture in the bread and stops the next ingredient from weighing things down too much, which is Anthony's oat fiber. Please don't confuse it with oat flour though. And be careful of other brands too, not all are zero net carb like this one. This stands in for the starch which would be in your typical all-purpose flour, and therefore pizza dough, which leaves us still missing protein, which we'll get from actual wheat. But just the protein part, vital wheat gluten. It's super unique from other food proteins, which is what gives dough its elasticity. Then, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, dried oregano, and basil. Knead this in your mixer for about 8 minutes. I'm using speed 3 on my KitchenAid, which is as fast as it will go without bouncing on this not so super stable table. So depending on yours, keep kneading until it looks something like this. It's elastic, but kind of tough. I'll divide it as it can make 2 decently sized pizzas. And shape them into a couple of pucks. But don't roll them out into your pizza crust shapes yet. They will fight you too much. Instead, let them relax in a warm, draft-free location, covering up with maybe a big bowl, or in this case, a plastic microwave cover. As they rise over the course of 90 minutes, you can decide whether you're going to go for a thin crust or a thick crust, crispy or chewy. Everyone's perfect pizza crust is a little different, just like your perfect mattress, which today's sponsor can help you find. Thank you to Helix Sleep for supporting the channel and for giving me the absolute best sleep of my life. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to you and your unique needs, and then shipped straight to your door, with free shipping in the US. To match you with your very best mattress, they've created this sleep quiz. So choose for 1 or 2 sleepers, your body types, your sleep preferences, etc., and it matches you with your perfect mattress, which for me was the Helix Midnight Luxe. It happens to be their most popular and most award-winning mattress. It comes super compact and rolled up in a box. Get it on your bed frame, release it from the packaging, and watch it magically turn into a full-size mattress. I could feel the difference with this mattress on the first night. Wow. 3 months later, I still love it as much as the first night. It's just luxurious. It is the perfect amount of soft, but supportive at the same time. No more waking up with tingly arms because you slept on your side. No more waking up with aches and pains that I thought were just a normal part of aging. I just sleep so much better through the night. I actually customized mine with the Glaciotech's cooling cover, and true to the name, it is pretty cool. So if you're looking for your next mattress or looking to improve your sleep, I highly recommend going down to my link in the bottom. It's helixsleep.com/MTK, and with my link, you'll get up to $200 off your Helix Sleep mattress plus 2 free pillows. There are financing options and flexible payment plans, and each mattress comes with a 10-year warranty, plus a 100-night sleep trial, which is so good because you actually get 3 months to make sure you absolutely love your mattress, and for some reason if you don't, they'll just pick it up for you and you'll get a full refund. So, while you get started on your sleep quiz, on the next tab, I'll get started on shaping our risen keto-friendly pizza dough. Put one aside for now and also get a pizza pan and some parchment paper ready. You can also get your oat fiber handy in case. But even if it feels a little tacky, I don't have much trouble with sticking. You can press with your hands, or I'm going to use a rolling pin to make it flatter and round. Are you getting excited yet? It looks and feels a lot like regular pizza dough. But I have to say, there's a catch, which I will get into, but first I'm feeling a little fight back on this elastic dough, so I'll stop for now. It's better to let it relax, and I can work on the other half. Just that little extra resting time has made this one even easier to roll out. It gets larger with less time and less effort, but eventually, it also begins to fight me at the end. You know, I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I'll just cover and give it a few minutes before I go in for some hand stretching. I want the dough to be a bit bigger than my pizza pan so I can roll over the edge. This is to keep the toppings from going over the side when things are bubbling up in the oven. Which won't be for a while because this crust is actually going into the freezer for another day. Back to our first half of the dough. You didn't forget about it, did you? It has continued to rise, and now I can make a puffier, thicker crust. But it's so tempting just to squish it down and stretch it out until it fits this pizza pan, and dock it all over with a fork. This will prevent any large bubbles from forming and pushing off the toppings during baking. Trust me, don't skip this unless you love cleaning out your oven. Roll over the edges. Then, to get a crispy bottom, I'm going to add olive oil to this parchment and smush it around there. I'd say she's ready to get dressed, don't you? Start preheating your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit while you're on your way back from the fridge to get your toppings. I'm going to keep things simple and low carb with regular tomato sauce. No sugar added, simple ingredients, and it tastes great too. It's thin rather than thick, which is ideal since I'm using vegan cheese shreds today. Vegan cheese shreds have a bad reputation, and for good reason, honestly. They often taste strange and they don't melt for shoot. But I do quite like this one from Vitalife. It is the best tasting one I've tried so far, and it does get melty, as long as you use a thinner sauce, and a generous amount of it. Actually, I like to make a sauce with these shreds with plant-based milk and pour it on for the last few minutes of baking, but today we've done a lot, so maybe next time. Add whatever else you like, and a couple Beyond Meat mild Italian sausages. Or I planned to use both of them, but I thought it was looking a little crowded, which I have to say I regret not using both. So when you make this, use 2. Then, this goes into your preheated oven. Set a timer for 10 minutes. In the meantime, grab the other crust from the freezer. It's just about solid now, so it's a good time to wrap it up and protect it for storage. And now it's also a good time to talk about the catch. There's always a catch. This dough handles and bakes up very much like regular high-carb dough, but instead of being full of starch, it's full of fiber, which is good, but also if you're not used to very much fiber in your diet, this can be overwhelming to your system, especially delivered in this dry format. So please make sure to drink plenty of water with your meal and be mindful of serving sizes. And because this is a food channel, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. Because now it's time to take the pizza off the pan. Turn the heat up to 475 degrees Fahrenheit to get that bottom crispier, and continue baking for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how brown you like things. It's been about 6 minutes for me for the top to be all bubbling and lovely like this, and the bottom is nicely browned, but not too much. The edges are golden and it smells so good. And you can see the cheese has melted right into that sauce. Simple and delicious. Check out that bottom crust. Crispy. But you can also see the bready cross section, so it's not crackery. Now for the numbers. Please skip this if macros and calories are not helpful for you in your journey right now. So if that's you, I will thank you for watching and hope you join me again as our soy-free tofu experiments continue this month, and of course more low-carb bready things as long as you keep requesting them. I plugged the recipe into Chronometer. One batch makes 2 pizza crusts, and if you slice it each into 8 pieces, each slice without toppings has 74 calories, 8.8 grams of total carbohydrates, which works out to be about 2 net carbs. Then here are the numbers for the pizza with the toppings and using 2 sausages because that's what I would recommend rather than just the one that I used. I felt like that wasn't enough. And of course, everyone's appetite is different, but I would say a serving is more like 2 slices. Who the heck just eats only 1? Anyways, if you want my advice, you should also have at least 1 glass of water per slice. And now I will stop telling you what to do, and you can tell me what to do instead. Remember, use the hashtag #RecipeRequest, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now!